Today we're talking about miniature sets that could be built for animation. This is a set that I built that's modeled after a hallway here at school. This is actually right across the hall from my room. It will be Miss GL's French room. And I made this many years ago for a project actually for our theater arts class, where students had to stage a scene from a play. And so I actually used a play called Lockers, which takes place in a middle school. And I built a set for a play scene, but it would also work for stop motion animation with action figures. And you can see here that I've got the door to the classroom, the little window next to it. They're actually inset. If I turn this slightly, you can see how it's raised in there. The door originally worked on a hinge. It was made out of masking tape, but it's no longer sticky anymore, so the door doesn't really hinge anymore. The rippled glass like we have in our school is actually from a cookie tray. So the ripples go the opposite direction that they do here in our school. And the lockers were also cut so they could be opened, and they just expose like a black void behind them, so that way you wouldn't really see what was in the lockers, but you could insinuate that they would open. So you can see I've got a floorboard with a wall here. I have a little support to hold it up. The bump out was created here in the back for the door and things to sit on, and this is even just held in with some poster tack. This was supposed to be the set for a late night talk show, so there was space over here for the host's desk and some space for the guest. There's a fake cityscape. It's actually made out of two different layers to give a little bit of depth to it. The night sky was painted in the background there, and actually the moon is made out of some tracing paper, so that way a lighting trick could be done where you could illuminate the moon and maybe even the stars. The stars don't show up real great because they're so tiny, but the moon looked pretty good on camera. This building was constructed out of just a cardboard box. It was spray painted red with the roof painted black. The doors and windows were drawn in the computer and printed out with a color printer and just glued on there. It's a relatively simple structure. I mean, the back is still just a box, but I needed a building to represent, a city, so I made a couple of these boxes, and they've been used in a couple of projects. The final set here I made with some middle school students for an animation they did. We painted the box a light blue. A lot of the details were just done in marker on the inside of the box. You can even see how the Sharpie is fading here. But there was a doorway for characters to enter. There was a touchscreen that they could pretend to interact with. There was this little map of the solar system. And then over on the far side, there is a desk with some controls and a seat. There was also a battery pack that accompanies this set. And this battery pack triggers some lights on the inside of the set, so we could animate a warning. That one's falling out where it's supposed to be. I think that used to be taped up in the back.